to fight by your side if the price is right.
Keep distant. My own demons haunt me too closely. I cannot also bear the burden of yours.
You're back! Good to see you again. Up to you. You know where I am if you think of anything.
Corbin, the Fletcher you rescued from Roost Anon at the Culwood Mills, sparks to life at the sight of you and breaks into a great grin.
Oh yeah? Oh, I mean, hey, how are you? All settled in myself? Can't tell you how glad I am to be here, and thank you for bringing me. I feel it, you know? I really do. By all means.
A painful death, trapped and defenseless.
The thick, close smell of rotten fish crowds you like a fog. Almost done, you slip something smooth and metallic into a barrel among the half-disintegrated and reeking fish carcasses. Your man Mordus approaches, says he wants to join the team in the cave. You nod, though there's something strange about him today. He seems nervous, excited. You wipe your face with your forearm. The smell will stay on you for days. The things you do for Queen and country, maybe more than they deserve. The little girl doesn't acknowledge your presence. She remains locked away somewhere deep within her own mind. The little girl doesn't... As you approach, the silent monk puffs a bit of air from between her stitched lips. She seems agitated. The silent monk cocks his right ear towards you, then his left. He appears to be awaiting instructions.
Good to see you again. Marvelous ship you have here. Worthy of a king. My mission has a name. Adramalik. He is the fiend that possesses your friend Losa, but worry not. We'll find him, and we'll undo him. To the city of Arx we must go, where he disguises himself as Dr. Deva. She intrigues me greatly. I'd say it was brave of her to send Losa after a demon hunter, but bravery implies something to be feared. She's fearless. One eye is sun, one eye is moon. I wonder which half of her nature she yearns will prevail.
Reaper's Coast lies nearby. When you are ready to sail elsewhere, I shall bring you there. The wood of the sacred ancestor trees has long been coveted for its ability to resist magical attacks. The consciousness of the elf within was always lost when they were uprooted, though. I am different. I think and feel. It is the work of Freedmen. Dallas wanted more than a ship. She wanted a warrior slave who was bound to obey. So Vreedeman used source magic to keep me alive as I was torn apart and rebuilt. He made me feel every moment of agony, then marked my wood with a slave scar. When I was an ancestor tree, the mother tree demanded loyalty also, but at least I was one of many. Now I am alone.
A sudden shuffle behind you, and Los's mouth is close to your ear.
Psst. Hey, Chief. I need to have a little chat with old Mouse about something. Mind if I butt in?
There you are, Losa. I've been eager to hear a little update. Did you do as I instructed?
Yeah, about that.
Oh, do tell. This sounds interesting.
That's one word for it, I guess. I met Jahan, and he tried the exorcism, but it didn't work. The demon's still knocking around in there, in here.
Well. Leave it to me, Losa. Mama Malady will think of something.
You will?
Of course I will. Surely you know by now you're my favorite.
Really? I didn't think you liked anyone.
I didn't say I liked you, I said you're my favorite. The cherry pit at the top of the rubbish heap, if you will.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
It's the nicest thing I've ever said. Aren't you supposed to be off learning how to become the divine and whatnot?
Her eyes flash with something, anger perhaps, or fear.
But... never mind. We better focus on the task at hand.
She looks straight ahead, ignoring you.
Well, aren't you industrious? It seems all the riffraff's back aboard as well. Ready to set sail when you are, Your Holiness. Fantastic. Now, on to the interesting part.
After many adventures, the party finally reached the place where Godwoken can go to become divine. But more surprises and difficult choices awaited.
Here we are, the Nameless Isle. And here I thought Malady was unimaginative. Still, it's what's on the inside that counts, isn't that right? And this is the place you're meant to become a god. I can't help but wonder exactly what you intend to do with such a power. I have no doubt about that, but do remember, you can do what's good for you, too. All things in balance, you know. You'll want to hurry now. Divinity is waiting, after all. I'm hardly an expert on the matter, but I'm smart enough to put two and two together. Where there is an ocean of source, there is a well for drawing from it. To rise to divinity, you probably need to take a gulp, though I'm sure it won't be that simple. Excellent question. Normally, this place ought only to be known to Godwoken, but judging by the ships burning in the bay, there's been a breach, let's call it. Regardless of who's on the island, all that matters is who ascends. Make sure that's you. The strongest will survive and ascend.
The squirrel guides its cat over to you, chittering as it goes. It reaches up and hands you a piece of bark. The wood is covered in a scratchy, scrawled handwriting. It's hard to read, but you can just about make out the recipe for a spell.
I can sense the raw powers of the source rippling through the air. The island, yonder. It is doom or destiny. Naught but the demon I'm hunting. A trivial task, really, compared to your current pursuits of divinity. She's a beautiful enigma, isn't she? All elven grace, and her own evil twin to boot. Yet she defies good and evil in a particularly charming, therefore particularly perilous way. I hope to hear her whole story someday. I'm certain it'll be quite the tale.
Jahan takes you by the arm, his voice a whisper.
By the by, do please remember the warning I gave you in the woods. Should Lohse come close to divine ascension, you must act. You must kill her. I'm no Godwoken. I have no place on the Nameless Isle. All I can do is urge you to contemplate with the greatest of care every move you make.
Gareth greets you warmly. He's oddly chipper, more chipper than you've ever seen him, and certainly more chipper than most people mourning dead loved ones.
I should thank you. I don't know what came over me. Praise Lucian, I had you to put me on the right track. Not bad. Took some time to think. My parents led good lives. I'd rather celebrate them for the love they gave me than to wail over their loss. Besides, we have work to do. Once we anchor at the Nameless Isle, I'll scout ahead, see if I can help locate the council and ease the way. I'll report to you on what I find. Nonsense. I just had to take time to renew my spirit. Lucian said, I will refresh the tired and satisfy the weary. Words as true today as when he said them.
Gareth offers his farewell and hums to himself. You recognize the tune, Blessed and Bold, a hymn praising Lucian.
You don't look very divine to me. What are you waiting for? You don't look... Excellent question. Normally, this place ought only to be known to Godwoken, but judging by the ships burning in the bay, there's been a breach, let's call it. Regardless of who's on the island, all that matters is who ascends. Make sure that's you. The strongest will survive and ascend. I'm hardly an expert on the matter, but I'm smart enough to put two and two together. Where there is an ocean of source, there is a well for drawing from it. To rise to divinity, you probably need to take a gulp, though I'm sure it won't be that simple.
I've plenty of fighters for hire, experts in blades, bows, and bewitchment. Oh, I see you have a full contingent already. Then I'll leave you be.
Hello. This island is something else, huh? I'll bet I can find many interesting ingredients here. Up to you. You know where I am if you think of anything.
This place is turbulent. I can feel the ground quake and the seas boil. Be on your guard here.
Tread carefully, my dear. Those are black ring banners that I spy on the shore. I studied the tablet that you so generously provided. It showed me everything I need to know about creating a functional Swornbreaker. Once I have that, I'll be free of the Covenant. And free to spend the rest of my days with Mahaly. See those structures further inland? Remarkably like those from the caverns of the Black Pits, aren't they? Should you discover the parts needed for a Swornbreaker, please bring them to me. I'll make it worth your while. Also, you will likely encounter sworn followers of the God King on that island, I suspect. I would avoid combat if possible. Death can be less than final for them, if the God King wills it.
Almira doesn't respond right away. Instead, she turns and gazes intently at the island. After a long moment, she finally speaks.
I sense a familiar presence. The Sallow Man. Yes. He's there somewhere. Likely commanding Black Ring forces. You should seek him out. He's a foul creature, but not opposed to cutting a deal. Beware his underlings, though. If they challenge your presence, pose as a thrall of mine, and you should gain safe passage. My name should still command respect among them.
Do what you must in this place, sorcerer. I don't want to linger a moment longer than necessary.
Something on your mind, darling?
I've got sword fighters, mages, archers, all willing to fight by your side if the price is right. Whatever type of companion you need, I can provide. You can put a price on the warriors I have for hire, but you can't put a price on the glory they'll win.
Something on your mind, darling?
Like to take a look at what I've been working on? Go on! By all means.
The little girl doesn't acknowledge your presence.
Quite a journey I've found myself on with you. Is this where it ends, I wonder? Dangers indeed. You can almost hear the sounds of battle when the wind shifts correctly. And where there's battle, there's bound to be mercenaries. Glechu Duma, the words of the Lone Wolves. No doubt my former comrades will have them in their employ. Speak their words, and you might pass. Speak their words, and you might pass. Consider it a token of my thanks for the assistance in retrieving anathema. Pursuit of my interests has led me to fall in with some disreputable company in my time. For a short while, one such group was the Black Ring. I know, not something to be proud of, but they let me do as I wished, so desperate they were for aid after the Death Fog cut them down to size. A fine arrangement, until they started preaching about this God King and his infernal covenant.
He snorts derisively.
The last thing this world needs is another would-be god, and an army of fools willing to follow him. It's a sop to all the fools who think that someone will grant them power and immortality in return for loyalty. This God King has caused to make war with the Seven, and the Covenant is how he's gathered his army. They become sworn, as it was put to me, bound to serve, die, and be reborn for the God King for as long as he wishes. Then, at some ill-defined point in the future, they think they'll be rewarded. You should have seen them all. On their knees, worshipping a new tyrant just to spite 7 old ones. I got away from them while I still could. Unfortunately, Dallas was waiting to snatch me. My efforts continue. I must admit it's quite an intricate piece to work with, even for someone like myself. I remain confident of success, though.
Whatever type of companion you need, I can provide.
soon find out.
A Magister, dead on the beach. What a surprise.
The seaside doesn't suit them, does it?
No ghosts remain. All are purged. You need a bath. Seen ruins like these.
You don't get out much, do you?
taste it on the wind.
I can't make heads nor tails of this.
You suddenly hear something in the distance. A strange tune. Sabine freezes. It's her Scar song. The Master is near.
He's close. We must turn back now, or he'll have me under his thrall once more. I need to find someone I can trust enough to share the Scar song with. It's the only way.
The air is thick with heavy flakes of ash. The altar before you seems to radiate heat as you approach. There is a blinding flash, and you are surrounded by flame. It licks your skin, enveloping you, but does not burn. Looking up, you see Zor Stissa sitting on an ember throne, surrounded by faintly glowing stars. Her eyes are mocking and angry, but you can see that her scales are starting to flake and fall.
Weakling! You have wasted my time by coming here. My champion will ascend at the wellspring. No other can overcome trial by flame. There is no challenge, Godwoken. There is only flame. My chosen will overcome.
The lizard slams her fist against her throne, sending embers flying. One of the stars above her ignites, wreathing itself in flame. The flames around you flare, and you're enveloped in an inferno. The fire rips through you, scorching your flesh and burning your clothes. The vision fades, leaving only the blazing fire, a glowing sun emblem on the altar, and the echoing laughter of a malicious god. The air is thick with heavy flakes of ash. An emblem of the sun glows faintly on the altar, but all you can hear is the hiss and rumble of the volcano and your own heavy breath. One step, then another, ever closer. You can tell from her bearing, Sabine has never been so ready to kill, so on the brink of impending action. She's like a cat, all concentrated muscle, that split second before it pounces. Another step, ever closer. The moment has finally come. She's found the master. The eyes of predators meet.
Sabine?
He snaps his fingers, and she involuntarily snaps to attention.
Here you go, breaking my heart.
That's the plan, mastermind.
He sighs, sadly.
I don't begrudge you your freedom, Sabine. Your escape relieved me of having to witness your death by your own hand. The inevitable last command. I would have watched you, like I have all this time, glad to see you live, sometimes even laugh. I'm very fond of you, you know.
The feeling's not quite mutual.
Not yet.
Another snap, different fingers, different sound. She looks to the ground. She's bowing before him.
Utter control. The tool of a tyrant, you think? But you're mistaken. Let me indulge you with an explanation. Everything I do for a much greater good. The supreme example of this is you, Sabine. She's the prime scion. It had to be her. The other scions knew and welcomed her. They sought out their own killer. It was all so very elegant. What I did had to be done, Sabine. And I had to be the orchestrator, for I am the House of Shadows. I am the Fate Weaver. I am the hand that guides a blind world.
Sabine slowly draws her needle.
Time to get to the point.
My, you still have the needle I gave you. How very gratifying. A fine instrument, is it not? Precise, exact. Just like me. Just like you. You should know that I forced you to shed the blood of scions because rather than a killer, it transformed you into a savior of untold millions. Here's the final truth, Sabine. The true evil here is not me. It's you. The Mother Tree and her scions do not seek to carve out their own part of peace in this world. They seek to carve out the whole wide world for themselves. They want their roots to conquer every last inch of Rivellon. World domination. The prevalence of one race over all others. That is what they desire. That is what I counteract.
Not quite wrong, not quite right.
At last, from darkness a ray of light. Though far too late it shines. I don't begrudge you your freedom, Sabine, but you came looking for me driven by no more than ordinary bloodlust. All you see is red. You've lost sight of all reason. You know how the scar works. You know I have but to sing a single tune. You've no hope whatsoever of defeating your master.
He sings. The Scar song swells, 1,000 tiny needles in Sabiel's soul, chipping away at her will. You're too late. The melody has taken hold of her mind. The song continues. Sabiel's eyes grow down. She's completely under the lizard's thrall once more, lost to you forever. Right where I